We're live. Now, where should I position my hands?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Carry On At Cush. That's pretty good for the day before Christmas Eve. Xmas Eve. Triple Xmas. My name is Kit. I'm your host with the most. Yeah, come on. We're live at Cush Cafe in Eugene, Oregon, where you can read poetry here if you get here and sign up on the master list. This is not a tryst. This is a kiss. We're the baddest, leanest, meanest, most... Okay, so here we go. I'm driving in here today and I'm practicing my shtick. Because you know I practice my shtick when I make my long drive in here in the dark.
Wow.
And it's just a long enough, dark enough drive to make you wonder, what if I don't make it to Carry On At Cush tonight? And I think that every goddamn time I get on that road, and I think to myself, well, what would they say about me tonight at Carry On At Cush without the microphone that I've got my man? I'd say, well, I bet they're good enough to get up there without a microphone. I would hope you would say, he's living the dream. He lived the dream. I always dreamed about having a really groovy place that I can hang out with some awesome, gorgeous people. Andrew, unplug that light, please. Who would unplug that light up there on top of the place? Who, really groovy, gorgeous people who would bring new thoughts and ideas into my mind, and we would all have an awesome time. And we've been doing this 8 months. We have been doing this 8 months. You are the dream. You are my dream. Thank you. I dreamed you thus, and you are it. Don't mourn me, Argentina. I'm living the dream. If you're living a dream, what do? Wake up. What do you do then? Walk it. For those of you keeping count, this is like the 5th new poem I've written. I know. I appreciate your ears. Brand spanking new debut. On Being a Man by Kit Chell, a.k.a. Locomotive Man. A man does what is necessary for his lover, his children, his tribe, his community. A man listens. The act of listening is not passive for the man. He is listening without reserve for what is necessary for his lover, his children, his tribe, his community. A man listens deeply, is engaged listening for the thing he can do not say for his lover, his children, his tribe, his community. A man does what is necessary without thought for himself. His body, mind, spirit are used in performance of what is necessary. A man takes the task up with reverence for its simple need, its pressing urgency. The man walks into fire with a smile. A man takes a bullet while bleeding out. The man does not cry for himself, but rather smiles, saying, I'm so glad I could take this bullet for you, my lover, my child, my tribe, my community. He bleeds and smiles, knowing he is a good man. A man takes the bullet because that is what is required of him. He is a man. Who else should? His lover, his children, his tribe, his community. The bullet is a joy, a task, a meaningless event in itself, but given the force of his discipline and sacrifice, he becomes warrior, hero, saint. A man can and should. A man is not happy until every task is done without thought for his body, mind, spirit. He goes until he stops. He loves greatly until he stops. A good man loves many his lover, his children, his tribe, his community. A great man loves these plus his nation, his continent. The greatest men love these plus their world. The greatest men love their world. By believing that it is right to suffer, he will be singing at his crucifixion as long as his lover, his children, his tribe, his community are safe. A real man listens and loves passionately through himself, not because of himself. A real man, at the end of the day, lays back in firelight, thinks about the next day's duties, and relaxes with his lover, his children, his tribe, his community, laughs, giggles, tickles, sings, joys, praises his lover, his children, his tribe, his community, his nation, his continent, his world. He is happy. He is alone, in dignity, alone, and together with his lover, his children, his tribe, and his community. Dedicated to that unknowably long line of men who have taken bullets for me.
All right.
We have a special treat. Come on up here, Julius.
Hey, Julius.
We have not seen young Master Julius in a while. What day is it, Julius?
Tuesday
Where are we?
at Cush,
Yes?
but not just any Cush.
Go for it, bro.
Carry on at Cush. Well, here comes the story. I am a brother, and I have a family. But it's not just any family. It's a disobedient. Treats me like a slave. But, so, one night, I'm at the house, the living room, talking with my brother. And then he starts to get hungry, although we do not care about our amount. So the brother tells me to get some food. Well, I reply, sorry, the headlights are broken and it's night. There's no way I'm doing this. I'll get caught. The brother's like, I don't care. Do it right now. I'm like, gosh, fine. Walk outside, start the car, and on my way, I get caught.
You do? Yes, you do.
And the police officer is like, what's wrong? And I'm like, well, the reason that I'm doing.
You can do it. Julius. Don't tell him.
The reason this criminal thing is happening is because I'm getting my headlights are broken and my family is begging me disrespectfully to
Lawyer up, Julius.
Yeah, right on, Julius.
bring food for them. And more till I don't have any money. I'm really poor because my family doesn't care anything about me. I don't know why. And then the police officer is like, do you want me to arrest your family? And I was like, okay, I'll try it. And then he goes and calls the tow truck, and
Right.
and they repair the car for a few hours, but also arrest my family. Woo!
All right, good. Get out the poker spot. Get out.
At that point, when you get stopped, Julius, you don't say a word. You say, I request my attorney be present for any further or any questioning. Thank you. It'll be my First Amendment right not to incriminate myself with bad poetry.
Who we got? Where are we? 2, 3. Now, where are we?
What day is it, Julius? You never answered. Is it the day before Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's the day before Christmas Eve.
Andrew.
Go ahead. All right,
I love Andrew doing this. Make him love it.
I have this banana in my pocket I need to remove.
He's got pops. Uh-oh.
It actually just fell awkward in my pocket.
Wow.
So it is the eve before Christmas Eve.
Oh.
What?
What poem do we read on the eve before Christmas Eve?
Probably a Christmas story.
Why?
Christmas. Night
This
before
is the
Christmas.
question we're going to answer.
Night before Christmas.
Why Buddha parties?
All right.
Buddha parties because he doesn't trust the monasteries.
What?
Everybody reads and does the same things over there. And they all shave their heads and wear funny robes. Buddha likes the feeling of having been around the block a few times, making nirvana not just a mind state, but also a skill. Parties are where the people are, and where the people are open and altered. So it seems a good time to ask important questions. Buddha likes to go to parties and pose questions such as, are good and bad equal? Are love and hate equal? Does one ever finally trump the other, or does one win slowly over time? And is that what we would call progress? And what is regress? If people can get better and worse with no sure promise of their final state, then how about history? Do thoughts more arise from feelings, or do feelings more arise from thoughts? And if thoughts come after, can we add thoughts to those thoughts to change how we feel? And if we can change how we feel by our thoughts, what relationship does that have to what is real? I mean, that is what we say we are trying to feel, right? We want to feel what is real, but if our thoughts change how we feel and we are trying to feel what is real, then is real more real than our thoughts? And how should we feel about that question? What source would we look to find the answer? I suppose we would look to how we feel. And how should we think about that question? Should we feel while we are trying to think? And if it is a dance, then who should lead? And to not be biased, should we let them take turns while we judge them? But how would we judge them except to feel and think about what we are feeling and thinking? See, I'm Buddha. And I don't believe in a personal, permanent ego. But there is all this dancing in my head. And the many selves that are dying and reincarnating as other selves can get a bit confused. But when I try to look for them, there are only selves inside of selves judging selves. So should I stop judging? And by judging, I not only mean condemning or appraising, but discriminating. And by discriminating, I mean not only favoring and disfavoring, but choosing. Why do you and I so often try so fucking hard to choose what we will be, when we can't even see past our version of reality, and have not even answered if we have a credible source? And I don't know if you think you have the answers to these questions, but this is what Buddha thinks. Can't speak for his followers, or Jesus, or Moses, or Abraham, but Buddha's answer is always, who fucking cares? Buddha is kind of a dickhead like that. I mean, he really can be an asswipe to point out that nobody cares but you. Other people say they care, but they care about them through you. See, it is not enough to not fucking care. I mean, you have to really not fucking care. That's the only chance you have of sorting any of this dancing out. The selves you always let lead are the ones who care. And before you sick 'em on those ladies out there, decide for sure what you want to care about. But you care about what you feel about and think about what you feel about, and by thinking about, affect how you feel about, affect how you care about, and this is how you're making yourself, what you are. This cycle snowballs into your daily experience of you. So give me a hit of that. And hey, there's beer. And yes, I will take a smoke. The mushrooms a few days ago were pretty good, but how are they affecting me now? I mean, I put all these things in with the snowball because the snowball can get more interesting and enlightening that way, and I feel it helps a snowball out to do drugs that can be scientifically shown to open up your mind. But what is the mind opening to? And as it opens up, what is it closing on? And should the process be slow so we can learn from the closing, or open as quickly as possible, since it won't matter once the closing has vanished what that closing process had to teach? Anything we are closing on as we open up becomes irrelevant to the opened up state. But should we now try to listen to it just because we want to, and don't care that enlightenment makes it irrelevant? You know what Buddha's answer to that question always is. Who fucking cares? You care, right? You fucking care. And Buddha fucking cares. But neither really wants to. Thank you.
Woo! All right. Woo!
What?
Oh. Fuck it up. Wait a second. I just have.
Read it. Porky. Come on, Porky. That was a skit I just did on the Buddhist enlightenment. What? All in Eugene, Oregon. Hey, come on down. And if you're another, if you're not a boy, girl, man, woman, we love you too. Come on down. What do you got? Oh, flogging mine. Ha! Rock and roll. Rock and roll.
The cold is nice, an odd preference, as warmth is seen so much more pleasurable. The cold is gratifying and beautiful. It feels appropriate. Cold inquires into its presence. Tree line shimmers with movement of a mountain valley alley cat. Stacked shoulders lay sinking paws in a belly crawl across the open of a frozen lake. The gun, comfortable now in its new homestead, traces the tiger. It has no intent to kill the beast, nor ability. Shells are not bought in town, and there's no longer a desire for tranquilizers. He has seen them up close before. The creature is already traumatized enough, pausing now in the center of this cavity in pine, birch, and maple ascension, finally able to feel the eyes upon her. Glancing through the treetops to a blimp nestled next to one, the gun focuses on her magnificence. Awe and respect pull the trigger. The early cold screams, click, and she can undoubtedly hear the faint courage and tensons. Lightning has no clap. A stare down between them covers their fear with thanks. Beauty for life and life for beauty. She would recognize his bitterness before merciful and the stubborn nature of fight. She needs her claws. He's just carrying a gun. With that, he stands and stretches his tired knees and watches her on her way out. Would she honor him with a return? Hunting is not war. Killings aren't similar in purpose. Nature needs it, but man chooses shells, powder, blasting caps, steel barrels, redwood stocks, bolt-action chambers, and petty insecurities, begrudgingly being heavy for our secure. Finite is always welcoming of conflict, and has now become a comfortable guest in our heart. The heart has desires that conflict can fulfill, and as we often die children, no matter the age, we have no time for patience. War is engaging and petty as an action. The hunt is purposeful, but also petty, but based on the hunt of the heart. What is the pursuit? Need? Sport? I was a loophole for her. She is as strong and as healthy as me, yet the petty tactics of a now peaceful nation has removed these allies. It is not war or hunting. It is a beautiful girl, a crazy, beautiful girl. A common resource hard to come by nowadays. I doubt her respect, or lust, or kinship, but I doubt everything. It's not a hunt. She deserves more than that. At least keep her tracks. I've lost many before. She doesn't want me, but the future idea of me and my heart. I am not what I seem. This male encasing is not appropriate. If I'm less hung up on it, like her, it'd be easier, but it's not the only shell I might have left. I leave them in town to people I know I do not trust. Still too afraid to leave them anywhere else. Scared and longing still, I burden myself to not distress her more with unfavorable impulses. Our problems stacked together. I'm stubborn to afar, still in sight of her grace, but I'm learning to survive without battle. The gun hiked the scenic route with only what he needed, his decision. The coyotes were the only problems, handled easily with a knife, and he was nourished, but reminded why he hated it besides its purpose. He found somewhere he liked, maybe not the best, but he liked it, and dug till he hit a fresher underlayer of dirt and reinstalled the walls of snow surrounding him. Sealed in a seated position, he scoped the area and began his comforting of surroundings. The reed machine rattled back harmony, drew unafraid deer to him unnoticed. The urge suppressed by meaningless sights of potential. He was here for something greater than himself, to find how to conjure it. The tiger has come and go. He has stretched and set back down and waited for its possible return, as you know. He studied his area, he listened, and attempted silence, decoding tree bark riddles. The cold was truly appropriate and kept him awake. He finally began to freeze after a couple days, too stubborn to back down from righteousness. Unappropriate was his stubbornness only. He awoke to warmth at his side, shocked at life, to bafflement at his alley cat companion, wrapped around his efforts, beauty for life, life for beauty. She grumbles at her surroundings and looks at him. He tensens and she reaches forward, opening her jaws and nibbles on his shoulder. Relax. Much less worse of a bite than battle has done to the other side. They still would have fight for each other yet.
Pretty good.
Very good, says Julius. Awesome. I know. Rapid fire, rapid fire, rapid fire. We gotta go do ho 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 stuff.
What kind of Christmas do you guys want to have this year?
Oh.
A good one or a bad one?
An
The best.
awesome one.
That's setup.
That's dealer's choice, man.
Okay, in that case, nothing's leaked.
All right.
Making my way to the downtown mall. The ground is shiny and there's gum on my favorite pair of high-top rubber slappers. Step by the free samples of refried frozen food. My legion ain't far behind. And we're taking the hall! Behind me, 50 people dressed as Santa raise a glass of tainted eggnog. Every business is packed like my sink, with all kinds of runoff carrying in unison. We sing our holiday version of some Santa terror melody. You better shut up. You better get down. I'm telling you what. Santa Claus is invading your mall. He sees you when you're shopping. He knows when you're a dick. We march up to the Santa, getting in line, rowdy as fuck.
Rowdy as fuck.
Come on! Me first! What do I want for Christmas this year? How are you gonna find me? Why should I trust your judgment? The parents throughout the mall gaze in awe and terror. As we pillage the mall of all goods, I explain that these things must be analyzed at the Santa Corps headquarters. The security do in fact call the police. We were ready for that. A Santa in a black suit with stomping boots clicks on a walkie-talkie. Yep, you hear me right. We igloo the place shut. Our little helpers wore elf suits and drove stolen cement trucks and bulldozers. We all make a large maniacal ho, 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 ho. So. We are the Holly Jolly Bastards. And guess what? We want for Christmas this year. We want to keep you on the edge of your seat. We didn't want to really hurt anybody. Just put a little holiday scare in the air. Of course, none of that mattered. Not to the news media. SWAT people have to do all that damage control in the name of what? Either way, we were ready for them too. Thus the hot dogs around our belts. Might as well feed the Fetty Bears, though the sign in my living room does say, don't feed the Fetty Bears. Because then they will come back and next thing you know, the Santa Corps is ruined. And we can't keep mall jumping, recruiting all the Santas from all over town. And mall and city and province make our Santa Union. The kids will just think there was a clone factory explosion on the North Pole. They don't need to know the truth about the interdimensional wormhole on the North Pole. See, apart from securing the malls from violent men in blue, we seek to dispel the radio stations of any and all Christmas music and specials, lest they collapse into a candy cane, peppermint, hot cocoa black hole of holiday terror. Plus, we have to worry about the National League of Santa Impersonators. Oh no, really, because that's ridiculous. Anyway, our 15 horsepower reindeer await us in the parking lot. The strange mission of Santa recruitment and mall tomfoolery was a success. Until next year. Oh yeah, next week, something serious.
Woo!
Wow.
Go ahead. What you got to say, mister?
Merry Christmas, James.
Merry Christmas, kid.
I was gonna say something. How did you know? I wasn't. Now you blew it.
You got
You get a lump of coal. You get a lump of carry-on coal.
Well, I'll have a lump of carry-on barbecue. How about that?
How about barbecue coal?
How about a barbecue with the coal? And invite some friends over.
Oh, good! Just did it. Just pulled out a six-shooter and shot him dead. Oh!
He took a piece of hunting practice from Porcupine. whom, in her fuchsia leather jumpsuit, no longer beige, a full palette of rainbow explosion, Mo! I know! Woo!
I rose all the way from pain to here. The pain started and I said, hell no, I'm out of here. And I hopped the hobo train headed west over the mountain and vowed not to look back, but I knew I would, and I constantly did. I brought along my pens and notebooks and that darn laptop. And like a newspaper reporter or Sherlock Holmes, I stayed hot on the trail of the story of my life. And I picked that baby clean and continued to peck the relentless buzzard that was my need to understand what the shit happened, what went wrong, and I kept at it and interrogated my life to exhaustion. Until one day, just like that, albeit years later, I realized I had finally written all the way from pain to here. And I kind of like the view, and I tell myself, you ought to think about staying. I am absolutely certain I probably won't or can't let it rest or just recede, that obsessive need to know, that is. But it's more indulgent than feverish now, and more nosiness than painful. And I think it's true to say that looking back and looking in and looking around all sort of glob together, and once baked at 350 degrees, there is essentially no distinguishing the parts. I think that's the very definition of a successful recipe. The stirring and mixing and sampling and adding a bit of this and a pinch of that until it tastes just about perfect, and you know, leaving well enough alone is the last ingredient. You throw off your apron and you go take a nap.
All right.
As a wiser man once said, wiser than me even, you only get to eat it once. Come on, Mary Kate.
Come on.
Mary Kate knows what I'm talking about. Right? That's what I'm talking about. I don't know. I lost train long ago.
All right, I have 3 poems for you tonight, and for the second one, I'm asking for some support from the audience. So if you want to help out on rhythm instruments, there's a couple of them over the table there, or pick up a drum. Gonna need some help with
Oh, look at them scurrying.
On the second
Look at them scurrying. I'll play the cool ball.
All right. Not yet. Oh, I'll tell you when.
All right.
Okay.
Second one.
We're locked and loaded.
All right. Ready? Ladies and gentlemen, this is your life. This moment and the next, and all the moments to come. The voice inside your head is humming. Take them all. Take them for yourself. Become who you are through them, by them, as they pass. Be the someone you want to become. Become one. Become one with your own idea of your own best self. Are you whispering at the edges of life, tiptoeing through shards, or are you picking up pieces, putting them together in illuminating ways? These days are your days, alive with aroma, lit from within. Kindle the fire you wish would burn, for this is your turn. Thank you for giving some of your moments for this important message. Okay, now it's your turn. So the beat we need, you guys have heard this poem before, but never with music, so. all I need to know of solitude and surety revealed to me a darker, deeper dream. Thank you very much. All right, this last one I wrote this week, and all I can tell you guys is go walk in the rain. Do not stay home. Do not stay home. Do not go shopping. Go walk in the rain. I'll give you poems. All right. Brazen women of solstice stand naked in the meadow, their petticoats of red and gold discarded at their feet. They do not fear winter. Indeed, they reach plaintively toward passing clouds, inviting the change of season, extending fingers of new growth, welcoming the attention of storms. That self-same force which nips their buds and prunes them mercilessly, which rips and rends, which cracks and crushes, is that which fosters their fertile power, that which bears the quenching dew. Why do they seem to quake in terror as the wind thrusts into them? Perhaps they quiver with anticipation of the excitement of the wind's rough assault, knowing, as they do, that the sweet cradle of sleep waits in the afterglow.
Merry Xmas.
Oh, she put the accident.
Okay, that kid is from the crowd where she put the X in Xmas. All right. Where are you going? If you're on the stage, you should be listening. That's the rules. Justin got a bite of fever. Justin came up to me at the end of the last time we ran. I said, what?
The phone. I'll go around and he'll answer.
Yeah, okay. Work it out to me. He said, I get it. I said, what do you get? He says, I got it. I said, you do.
There you go. Is that easy?
Woo!
Yeah.
You got some moves.
You either, right? You ready? Okay. So let us hear.
My grandma always says this thing about loving people, warts and all. How could I fall in love with so many lost souls? How could I come away from such mischief and call it endearing? How could I look in the eyes of someone who took the reins of their life and plummeted into darkness and call that light? How can I love the drunkard drinking himself in and out of oblivion, bottle in hand, then soft tinkle as it lands in the sand, then boisterous yellow-toothed laugh? How could I fall in love with so many fucked up people? Perhaps it is because it's not the intention, but the air of so many souls that leads so many people into darkness. And in that darkness, their souls can become black, but not all black. The good rectifies the evil, and we ought to see beauty in all creatures. What is bright and whole stands tall, stricken in its tallness. All glory, no shame. All goodness, no evil. All goodness, all glory, no shame. The missing tooth there, or missing eye there, or hopeless folding of the hands. The cuts all up and down the wrists and arms, can we not paint them away? Can we not mend the air with a good-willed heart? Or is the human to always be half good, half black? And how did I end up falling? How did I end up loving so many fallen creatures? And why did I not love them before? And why did I not love them before? So, okay, here's second poem. Okay. Nobody saw it coming. Nobody thought it would. Nobody tried to make it happen, but then again, nobody dared. Parents, teachers, friends, none of them had a clue. The way back in the left temporal lobe, around curves, crannies, and hidden within some secret crevice, something grew. The secret started soft and quiet, whispering whispers in a quiet, quiet voice. The stars held their breath. The trees turned their ear, and the earth nervously bit its lip. And every human would look and see something strange, but not know quite what it was. Something reminiscent of an old dream or the distant echoings of an oncoming storm. Nobody saw it coming, nobody thought it would. But it ate up the world with a ravaging thirst. The barbaric cry cried, would shake the trees and plummet the earth. But when will it come? When will it come? I am still waiting, waiting, waiting.
Heat.
Woo!
Justin brought heat.
Yeah.
How that taste? Now I want to know how that tastes. I can't remember. What's that taste like? What's it taste like?
Tastes like that poem.
Yeah. Tastes just like that.
Justin brought love.
Yes. Yes.
The love and life and glory of humans.
Yeah. Yeah. No boo. Yeah. Into that maelstrom walks a newbie. Come around to the poetry slide, newbie. Just that easy. Her name is Becky. This is not Becky from my 6th grade class, who is awesome. And another Becky.
Hello, I'm Becky, and
Hi,
I'm
Becky.
from Michigan, and this is a poem about my father and growing up in Michigan.
Okay.
Go for it.
Go for it.
I gotta take a couple of deep breaths because I get all nervous. My father had sandals like Jesus, but stumbled in his path. Stone, cold, sober, on a winter's night. 5 feet might as well be 6 feet under. Stone cold winter on a Michigan night. Please let me see your summer nights. Stone cold sober on a Michigan night. Sunday church smells like dusty books and dusty old ladies. You must follow the 3 P's. Prayer, patience, put a sock in it. Tiny voices, but larger understanding. Listen. Father's not in church. Mother pardons. Like every word is scripted. Stone cold sober on a Sunday night. The mellow hints of jazz fill the air, and the moon hits the snow in a luminescent glow. Chicken chow mein again in a can. And watching I Love Lucy reruns on a black and white. Stone cold sober. Watching reruns or trying not to listen to the a flight of faithless doves of silk cloth that conclude, you're going to heaven. And with whiskey on his breath and a beer in his hands, he turned to me and shouted, I'm stone cold sober on a Sunday night.
It's so very nice to to be here with you all. Jeremy. No, wait, stop. Sorry, my bad. Brian.
Hey,
I haven't seen Brian in a long time. I remember Brian's call. You got into the poetry slot, though. We've got this new gig we did, this new bit, this new skit.
every single person.
You can leave any way you want, but you come into the slot.
It's
true.
The time has come for us to meet. I want to rub your back and feet. You'll lay your body out for show as I rub from head to toe.
I totally can't hear you. Sorry.
I'll start with your back and work down your spine. Making you feel good is how I get mine. I'll rub each muscle with tender care. I'll run my fingers through your hair. I'll rub your palms and pound your feet and shake your ass like a piece of meat. And when I'm finished and your backside's done, I'll have you roll over for some front side fun. I'll rub your face, your stomach and chest. I'll find each muscle under each breast. With gentle strength, I'll work your face. Such tiny muscles lay there to trace. I love touch and rub and prod. I want to know each inch of your body. Lastly, usually I move toward the feet, then work in the direction where your legs and your body meet. Each leg will be mine as I wrap it tight and stroke your muscles with all my might. My fingers will dig into each inner thigh. The more you relax, the more I get high. And when I'm done with every inch, I'll wake you up with a gentle pinch. We could cuddle and kiss as we watch TV. What we do isn't just up to me. I'm not Mr. Right, but I do have my needs. Do you have a hunger you're trying to feed? And if we click and laugh and play, maybe we'll decide to spend another day. We might decide I'm not Mr. Wrong. We might fall in love and we might get a song. I love to hike, I travel far, so long as I have gas, we can take my car. And on those hikes, I love to swim. I strip it all off and I jump right in. From a basic massage to a lifelong friend, or maybe an ear, it feels safe to bend. I don't know what I'll find or if she'll find me. I'll just have to be patient and hope and wait and see.
Oh, woo!
Well crafted, Brian. Well crafted. Y'all are horny tonight.
Yep.
Have you been drinking? Because you look really good to me.
We definitely have X and we definitely have Mass.
Great team, don't judge me.
You're awesome. Shut up. Jeremy.
Into the blue slit now anyway, as long as you go into the blue slit. So, I'm in. So I feel like there's something happening lately. And I don't know what it is. You feel like your brains are like opening up? Like there's some sort of strange alien energy kind of, you don't have a choice, it's like taking over.
Oh, God.
Right? Maybe it's just us. But, okay, so anyways, speaking of UFOs, here we go. All right. What is that sound, he thinks, as he wakes up to bright lights of a mobile source dancing through the bedroom blinds? Sitting up in bed, he listens and walks down the hall to the front door to see after opening a flood of light, along with that humming octave all around, fade into the dawn. Walking through the wooded neighborhood, birds singing their morning freedom, the barking of a dog somewhere nearby. Wish I was a bird, he thinks, as he eyes the smoke rising from the factory in the distance. His eyes back to the ground he walks on, then the sound. The gut-wrenching wail of abuse and innocence, the sound that ought to make people really fucking angry. Zemby looks through the trees to witness a man with a stick beating a dog who is necktied to a tree. "You gonna shut up now? I don't want to hear another peep," says the man, throwing the stick at the injured Labrador who appears less than a year old. As the man turns away, Zemby's fist meets his face. He falls to the ground in a daze. "What comes around goes," says Zemby, retrieving the stick, and proceeds to stick the man's face with ferocity that even scares the puppy. "Stop, please. Did you stop when he was crying?" says Zemby, pointing to the Labrador before lashing him one more time. "Now where's the key?" Hand in pocket, the man, a helpless child now, hands it over. As he stumbles to his feet, partially blinded by his blood, Zemby releases the chain from the dog's neck and immediately returns to give the man a kick in the chest. "What are you doing?" he cries, falling back into a shovel and other tools standing under an open shed. "Please, I'll stop, I promise," he says, as Zemby locks the chain tight around the crying man's neck. Grabbing the shovel and ready to swing until, with his hands up and shaking, the man says, "Stop, Daddy, please. I'll be good now, okay? Just stop, please." Zemby's face looks like he's just realized that he's been poisoned. "All right, well, I don't want to hear another peep out of you," he says, throwing the shovel into the shed. Cradling the young puppy, a warm lump of broken will, turning to his right, Maya walks through the doors of an animal shelter. Clanging of metal, pipes, gauges, tall cylinders under even a taller ceiling, a shout of voices here and there. Wearing goggles, a hard hat, and ear protector, Zemby checks a gauge before turning a valve to red. The look on his face is not happy. He hasn't been happy in this big old glue factory for some time, and since Brian moved away, his co-worker and confidant, there are not many others here of his generation, and he knows it's possible for this routine to turn into a big belly and a whole lot of drink. In the lunchroom, Zemby munches some tortilla chips, hoping to change his mood. "Hey, Zemby," says Dave, "Harold is home with the flu, so as you make your rounds, I need you to check the gauges on the C unit and get the cartridges emptied. All right, if he's sick tomorrow again, I'll put this on someone else." Zemby gives a silent nod and eats another chip. His hat, his goggles placed on the table, steel doors shutting behind him, he walks through the parking lot of mostly pickup trucks. At the riverbank, he's far enough away to deafen the sounds of factory. "Stop! Stop it! Leave me the fuck alone! Stop!" he hears from the voice of a woman. Then he hears her scream. What is happening today, he thinks, as he walks along the riverbank to find a man holding a young woman down atop a bed of fall leaves. "Hey, off, now," says Zemby, approaching with about 20 feet between them. As the man stands, a dirty clothed recluse he is, the young woman kicks him in the stomach. He slaps her in the face as she stands, and she roars her furious fists until a stiff push sends her back on her rear. "Let's go," says Zemby, helping her to her feet. "Who do you think you are?" says the man, stepping towards him. Zemby's quick kick in the crotch and a fast fist catching the chin don't give the desired result as Zemby finds himself on his back under the predator's blows. His adrenaline maneuvers their bodies to their sides where they both gather to their feet. Zemby charges, shoulder into his chest as he picks him up from behind his legs and shoves him into a leaning tree. A punch to the gut and then to his eye before he realizes the man was knocked cold by the living will. Stepping back, Zemby spits blood and doesn't try to intervene. She hits the sleeper solid in the face about 10 times, screaming all the while, "I'll kill you, you stupid scum. The hell with you and everything you stand for. You spigot of sewer. You nothing." She pulls him from the tree and he falls face first to the ground where, to Zemby's shock, there's a pistol nestled between his pants and the small of his back. She grabs the gun and stands over him in execution. "Hey," says Maya, grabbing her kill hand. "Let go," she yells with authority and a rage of a bullet. He thinks maybe she's going to shoot him. "Listen," he says, turning the gun out of her grip. "It'll attract way too much attention. You don't want to get locked up, right?" "You think I give a care about any of it? Look at this place, at these people, at this constant nightmare. Well, I have to agree with that to some extent. Yeah, so take him out, or give me the gun. Not here, says Zimby, throwing the gun into the river. She watches the drowning and turns to him and says, you're a coward. And as usual, nothing changes. And there's silence between them. What? She says, lifting up her shirt. You want a piece of this now? He doesn't look away from her eyes, and he wishes they could eye like that for a while longer. She turns and kicks Mr. Chauvinist in the ribs a good few times, with one in the head for good measure. Thanks for nothing, she says, walking away. Looking over the river, the silence, the sound of the birds, and that really just happened. What did you do to me? What did you do to me? Chokes the injured man as he regains consciousness, grunting in pain. Zimby looks around and seeing no other eyes, his boot coming down hard on the predator's neck. All right, don't ponder about it. Just decide now. That's what happened. That's what you did. It's for the best. It's for the best. That's it. Keep walking, he thinks, as he crosses the bridge towards home. And there she is, suddenly revealed. Hey, please don't do that. She, out on the metal of the bridge's edge, looking down at the cold river 200 feet below, saying nothing. You know, I don't know everything that's going on. I just want to say that because of you, this day is more than I ever thought it would be. She moves a little bit. I saw lights this morning, she says. They filled my whole room, and it felt so good. I felt free. I felt clear. I couldn't sleep after that. And since then, everything is just horrible. I thought I may have been dreaming. I saw lights too this morning, and the noise, a deep humming sound, right? Turning, she looks at him, eyes wide, looks at him from head to toe and back to his eyes. There's no smile yet. There is a smile, though, before her eyes return to the choice of death. Now, I quit my job today, he says. My heart just wouldn't let me do it anymore. Went for a walk along the river. Then I heard you. I need someone who's going to help me stop the shit that's going on, she says, eyes still toward the river. Well, then come back away from the edge and get on the pathway. 2 geese fly by them now, just overhead, singing their common melody. Do you love the animals, she asks. Yes, I do, and I think they should all be free. Uh-huh. Well, do you have any money? Yeah, about a month's worth. Well, I got money too. And turning to him, she says, you take me out to dinner? Yeah. All right, thanks for listening. No, it's not funny. Maybe it'll be funny in a
May I say something, Jeremy, or no? Jeremy's writings changed when he moved. I'm just noticing. Thanks for the check. Everyone, stand up and stretch. Stand up and stretch it out. We're down to the final 3. All right, sit down. Eyes front, ears front. Gabriel? Gabriel?
Come on!
Of the many archangels, now Gabriel appears.
Yo, it feels good to be in this atmosphere. I moved to Eugene in June, and I actually haven't been to an open mic since I've been here.
Good. Oh.
Used to be a
found
thing.
us! Damn it!
Awful, dude.
Totally left no breadcrumbs. Who left the breadcrumbs?
Used to be a thing I did a lot. And,
I know.
And it's been a while.
All right, now it's
so it feels good. Anyway.
Let's hear it.
Go.
Go up.
All right. This poem is called The First Day of the Rest of Our Lives.
Who is that?
Let us be frank with our situation. A rather, let us be Carl. Or, no. Let us be Lisa. No. Let us be Sonia. Let us be Gabriel. Let us be Violet and Summer and Victoria and Avery. Let us be Toby and Dylan and Adrian and Gregory. Let us be time and space, right and wrong, man and woman, hurt and blame. Let us be strength and wisdom and stubborn, dogged resilience. Let us be trapped in this glorid hellhole of an apartment for eternity, on repeat, playing this endless game of hide and seek. Let us twirl again the carbon carousel. Let us gamble, lose, and win it all again. Let us surrender to that pain deep inside the uterus, that hair in the back of our throat, that pearl in the sand of our collective vulva. Let us bleed and sweat the never-ending sauna of vivid beauty and moonlight. Let us dream a million dreams and give them all a different timbre, a different glance, a different hue of the same celestial brightness. Let us toss the cosmic spark of all that is greatness back and forth, endlessly undulating and hydrating and meditating and contemplating and forgetting and remembering. We are the epic cosmic shell, come to shed itself a million different ways. Let us tear the walls off of our faces and face the terror in our walls. Let us fall endlessly through the slithering, writhing, juicy blanket of flesh beyond flesh. Let us feel that poison which we all know so well. Let us name it 100,000 times, dissect and explore it until we pass out from utter exhaustion. Surrender to the heat of the never-ending birth. Let us be fearless, noble, gracious, conscious, autonomous, capable, culpable, accountable, valiant, strong, and real. If nothing else, let us be real. Because if we have to keep pulling ourselves through this sacred smoldering asshole for eternity, if the universe gets no more profound than children peeing on each other in a golden rusted bathtub, then God damn it, the only cure is to cultivate a stubborn indifference.
Yeah.
But not a cold indifference, not a dismissive, casual indifference. A warm, welcoming, all-encompassing apathy. Woo! That tenderly greets each moment like a screaming infant. We tend to the infant. We teach it well. We enjoy it. It enjoys us. We do our best not to get in the way of it enjoying itself. And then it dies. And I'm sick and tired of pretending like there's something wrong with that. And I'm sick and tired of pretending like there's something right with that. It's really fucking simple. And the answer is not the poetry that I'm writing, that we are writing right now. The answer is what happens the moment that I finish reading this. So go now and breathe, my lover. Breathe. Go now and die, my child. Die. Go now and grow, my brother. Grow. Go now and go alone.
Woo!
Go roll your bones. Go moan and groan.
A better man than me said.
We have Jeremy. We're going to read a poem by Lori. Lori wrote this, and Jeremy's going to read it.
All right, Lori Jeremy.
Maybe Louie will come up and grace us with her voice one of these days.
One of these days, maybe. Yeah.
Maybe next week.
That'd be great.
Distractions are deterring me and pulling at my sleeve, leading me far astray and wondering for my needs. Time is pushing me onto a winding road, taking me far away to places yet unknown. I'm stumbling in the dark, chasing after the sun, showing me the things that I've left undone. My burning bridges light the way to find what I've now become.
But if I'd written that, I'd want to get up here and say it so I could get that awesome applause up here in the light. But, you know, over time, everyone does what they feel awesome with. It's about that time of the night when we asked a friend of ours to, whoa, boom. Carrot, 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 carrot. So Jeremy and Karen were going to the mall. And I just asked for a picture of Karen sitting on Santa's lap. Wouldn't that be awesome? That'd be awesome.
Door. Okay, yeah. Oh my God, he said. But anyway, that's not actually my my repertoire anymore. Anyways. Hi, how you guys doing? Hello. Good. Jesse taking my picture. Wow. You know, Jesse, we'll have to do another poem together again real soon. And tonight, I stand on consecrated ground. The poet leaped from the page, the pen still linking, the dreams now speaking to myself as I look upon the floor of time, where wild and angry, dismembered leaves dance at my feet. I cause myself to reflect on this moment. Each step I take, a crunch of life beneath me. With a daring look upon the sky, eyes averted from the clouds above, but destined for greater, mighty things. The rain gathers in each eye of the heavens and drops the tears so slowly, softly dancing against my skin. When I look at you, O earth, forgotten and forsaken by ones like me, the despondent seekers, the thrill of time is gone. I look at you and I look at me and I ask reflectively, where am I going? Is this a destination or am I here already? Is this where I am going to be tomorrow? Is this I were yesterday reflecting in a pool of sweet sorrow? The breath and bread to cast upon the waters. Soggy as it may seem, my dreams are leaping yet like fishes from the depths of somewhere beyond my understanding and conception. With every dance of the wind, the wings that part the sky, the unspeakable truth is mentioned, and I dare again, as I write these words right now in thin air, I dare to speak of love.
Right,
love
sister.
is a destination in this moment, seeking not itself, dancing alone. stretching out each tentacled fingers, sucking up each moment and each breath that it extends onto. When I wander into this time and space, naked as I come, a soldier of wars unspoken and dreams yet born, I actually see myself a tinsel on a tree. That tree that perhaps was made for Christ, that Christ that was made for me within, that destiny that I have actually awoken to this moment. And where am I now? In a room that Becky, I'm sorry, I'm writing this as I speak.
You got it, go. Where are you?
In this moment that nakedly awaits me and dances as a star within my eye. That morning star at midnight that called his name, and he descended like a flash of light upon the earth. Santa! And with a flash, he was gone with his reindeer.
Got you!
Thank you.
Got you!
Okay, now, that was great. Get in the middle of this. Get in the middle of this. Here, don't step on the microphone cable, boy. Step over the cable, boy. There, step over. Now, get over there. And over there. There you go. Now, take the mic. Julius, Karen, and I will now sing you We Wish You a Merry Christmas.
Yeah!
3, 2,